I think the big story with DC is the fact that they are doing step-on.
It won't be for till 2021, but it is official from the DC dudes and from Burton.
Yeah.
So
the
it
press
is
release
officially happening. Burton is making the soles and then shipping the soles to DC to be made because Burton has all of the precision equipment to make the soles because the distance between where the cleat mounts and the cleat on there and where, whatever, that has to be perfect. Where it lands on the sole has to be perfect. So, because let's be honest, if you blow out of your step-ons, regardless of what boots you're wearing, you're going to blame the bindings. So Burton wants to make sure that the boots are made right. So Burton will be making the soles. DC will be making the rest of it. It is happening, but not till 2021. So not for next year.
I bet you we see a late release.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen them in the wild, and they look production ready. So it won't shock me. That may depend on Burton, though. Burton may want to keep it under their own house until 2021. That may be what's holding that back. But
yeah. So DC has a new boot.
The Schuxen.
The Schuxen, yes. Mm-hmm. Named after the Schuxen arm up at Mount Baker. This is like literally the stiffest boot they make. It's a 10 of 10.
It's still not stiff.
No.
They don't make stiff boots.
No, their stiffest boots are still not. Well, the Horgmo is actually stiff.
It was stiffer. This is replacing that. Or no, yeah. This replaced that. The Schuxen is replacing
that. Yeah, I mean, it's stiffer.
I mean, like, you can... we've got the Niagara Highlight over here, which may be an issue with sample, but, like, it took all of our strength to bend that boot. That's stiff. Yeah. This thing, like, I put it on, and it's every other brand's, like, 7. So,
which I don't even care about the numbers, but, yeah, but it comes in red.
Comes in red.
Rare.
Yep.
Rare Racing Red.
Yep.
Is what they call it.
Tuckney comes in white.
You.
I think it looks sick, but,
White boots.
Yeah.
Let's see, there's the new BS board, the Beer Savage collab.
That's just a novelty board.
Yeah, it's not anything special. I mean, I didn't even know what Beer Savage was.
I still don't know what it is.
It's still better than a Butt Savage.
Yeah. The one thing on the boots, the Control, which is their entry-level double boa, gets the sole from the Mutiny. So this year it had a full foam sole.
Yeah. So
next year it gets rubber
so that'll dampen and it'll last longer.
Yeah.
I will say this, though. The Beer Savage board, which you can see on page 43, I really like that blunt shape. It's aggressive.
It's very aggressive. It's designed to look like a beer can.
It is. And then there's a new board for the women on page 45. And that is the Forever, which is kind of their all-mountain board. What the fuck was that model it replaced?
I know. I've been trying to figure that out, and I cannot remember what it was called.
It was not a good board, though.
Yeah, it was gnarly. I remember, or at least the one that I'm thinking of, it was supposed to be women's mega, but it was, like, aggressive.
Yeah, it was not a fun... I think they sent that to us one time, and we tried to ride it. I think I had Zara or Courtney ride it, and it was it was not a good time. On to Nitro.
Yeah.
So this is a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. So they've got... It's Nitro. Like, they literally have a SKU for anything.
Yeah, seriously.
So the first one will be page 28, and that's the new Banker. This is literally a board for charging bank slaloms. Like, that's what engineered for speed. It's directional, true camber, mid-wide, basically, and it only comes in a 59, so it's part of the Quiver series. Then on page 29, you have the Fin Twin, which is like a more mellow tapered swallowtail. It's kind of like...
is it a graphic thing, or does it have more side cut?
It's got more side cut, too.
Than the POW.
Yeah. Well, it's got a different tail.
Yeah.
And it comes in different size. It's only a 49.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is. Then you got the Sentoku or whatever, Quiver of 1 on page 34.
Sentoku.
Sentoku.
That looks great.
Right? Graphically, it looks good. It's
the wood carver comes with a really nice knife, or at least they're doing a collab with a knife. Probably don't get the knife with it, I would assume.
I want the knife.
I want one of those knives. I've been eyeing up one of those for a while.
Yeah,
makes cool stuff.
So, well, they always do really good collabs.
Yeah.
With stuff. I miss when Josh Roberts worked for him because SIA, we were always getting camping supplies of something. But you got to figure out who has my hatchet. I have an L1 hatchet. So there's a new board called the Cheap Thrills, and you can see that on page 49. It's just, your standard. They have so many twin boards. It's so ridiculous to me.
They really do.
That they do have this. It just blows my mind. But yeah, it's... The other thing is that graphic. God, what was that? It was a Solomon board. Was it the Sleepwalker that had like a similar graphic?
Kind of like that, yeah.
Yeah, and so I don't know. It's a flat out rocker board. So,
did they have the Shtick last year?
No, that's
another new one.
Yes,
because that's a great name for a
No, wait, the Shtick. The
Yeah.
Shtick did exist last year.
Yeah.
There's the new squash split for ladies on page 51.
Mm-hmm.
So you got that going on. I still find it funny that they're making a clicker binding.
Oh God, I know.
So
Just don't. Still rolling forward with the Vibram toe caps.
Yes,
which is actually dope.
There's a bunch of new boots this year. So there's the new Club and Club Hybrid, which it looks ugly as sin, and it looks like a boot from the late 90s, early 2000s, but with boa. I mean, I just have visions of like old Liquid boots and stuff. Then there's the Bianca TLS for the ladies, which you can see that on page 111. This is going to be a more aggressive boot for women.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to have that zonal lacing to it, everything like that. If you really wanted to hate your life and you're a woman, they have the Lava Clicker TLS boot, which, fuck those things.
Yeah.
Then there's the new Cypress Boa, which I think that's like more of a mid-flexing boot, but if I remember correctly, I got to check that. Yeah, it's a comfort fit boot, and then finally there's the on page 119 is the new Droid boot, and right or
it's
the
a
youth boot, yeah. So I will say this about Nitro's boots: I think they're actually highly underrated, and they're super good quality these days compared to where they were 3 years ago. The fit is different on them. It's a little more... It's kind of like an old Solomon fit almost.
Yeah, it reminds me of a very like Euro style fit for sure.
Yeah, no, which makes sense. I mean, they're registered, the company is Nitro USA when they were based in Europe. So that's what Nitro's got. I just can't get over that fucking clicker.
I know.
Like, why? Why do we have to have this again? We got rid of it, and fucking Burton tried to bring it back. It's bullshit. Let's see. If we go and check out 32, it's a pretty simple selection. Heldor's riding for them. There's all sorts of collabs. Some people, I'm surprised, are still being sponsored. Like, does Chris Grenier even film anymore? I thought he just worked on the Freedom Frontier.
I think it's just he still has the name behind him. You know what I mean? I think.
But does he?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, like in the shop and stuff. You know, he
Desiree's
still
got her collab.
Yeah.
And then,
which she had probably my favorite photo at SAA. Like of all the marketing photos, whatever, she's doing a hand plant out of a pool on her snowboard, which is sick. Like I just remember. Quick side note on Desiree. I just remember when the first Vito Grass came out.
Oh my god, it was
and
awful.
It was basically like poking fun at Desiree because her part was terrible.
Oh, yeah.
And then she stepped her fucking game
I heard
up.
at the premiere she ran out when she saw her part and cried.
Yeah. And then she stepped her fucking game up. And she's been killing it the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So,
then,
stoked for Desiree. Nico's got his own boot.
Yep, Nico's got his own boot and it looks like a Nike.
Yeah, it literally has the Nike
pull thing.
Like pull thing on it. And 32 dude I talked to literally said, yeah, we basically took this from the Kaiju because that's what he rode. So it's probably sourced from the exact same factory.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's basically a Team 3 with just a little bit different overlays on the outside. It's got that extra pull to it and a different sole. It's got for some reason, Continental, like they already have a partnership with Vibram. I don't know why they added Continental to that. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Doesn't either.
But... yeah, and premium, it's like $50 more than Team 3.
Yeah. There's the women's Jones boot for the backcountry chicks out there, so you can see that on page 44.
There's Team 2 double boa.
Yep.
Yeah.
So 32, I mean, biggest market share in boots and snowboarding.
Yep.
Still blows my mind because they can't make a boot that lasts more than 32 days, but whatever. Let's see. What else we got going on? Swing over
But they make a crab grab boot.
They do make a crab grab boot, so if we go over to Vans, the big thing with Vans is the amount of pro model collabs. So like Kuzik got a pro model boot and outerwear collab, or like mid-level wear. So that's page 6-7. Then the next page you got Mary Rand's collection, which I don't know why she gets hyped so hard, because she was a Yagun, and then whatever. And then Brian Iguchi's got his collection in there on page 14 and 15, and that looks sick.
Yeah.
Like that looks super sick.
Pat Moore's boot looks real good.
Yeah, it does.
The white stripe on the side looks real good.
Yep. The big thing to note is the high standard linerless.
Yeah.
You got linerless boots are back.
Oh my god, that hurt my feelings so much when I saw that.
Oh my god, I want people to understand how uncomfortable those things were back in the day. You will feel everything in that, which is fine.
I'm just really hoping that boot is ludicrously soft and they're marketing it towards snow surfers.
One could hope, but if you want to look at that, that's page 58 and 59.
Well, they do the Aura linerless.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, there's an Aura linerless as well.
Ugh.
Yeah.
That's too stiff of a boot to go linerless.
I know.
You're going to destroy that boot because you'll be driving right into the shell.
Yeah.
It's going to just crease.
Guys, no.
And then there's the new Viaje or whatever boot, page 66 and 67. It's a women's boot. It's a little bit of a higher end boot, I believe.
It's
mid to high end.
Yeah, definitely higher end. It's got that gator on it. It's the same one that it's like it was this year the Blake Paul North Face collab on the men's side. Same boot on the women's now.
And then there's the women's Encore linerless boot. Because if you're a woman and you want it, you got it. So that's page 72 and 73.
I just don't understand the linerless concept. I really wish I could have talked to somebody at Vans, Sean or somebody, and been like, why is this thing?
I don't know. I feel like they're just doing it because they hate people.
Maybe.
It's
because they have the snow boot.
They do.
You know?
And oh man. So I have a friend that has those snow boots, and he's like, it's got waffle tread. I can't grip shit on it. He just slides everywhere with
I just want it for snow surfing. I know a ton of dudes that snow surf in them.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me. I mean,
and the thing that I'm excited about is they have the standard Velcro snow boot.
Yes.
So hyped. Velcro. Laces are stupid. Velcro.
You're one of those kids that had kangaroo shoes from the grocery store, didn't you, when you were a kid?
No.
Don't lie.
No, but I did have some light-up shoes.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
If we swing over to Deeluxe, there's the new Explorer boot for the backcountry on page 9. It's not the Spark R&D boot or the Zov boot. It's kind of like that in between. The Demon got a new design on page 15. I looked at it. I couldn't really see much of a difference. The Empire Lara, which is a ladies' boot on page 44, got a new design. Once again, didn't really see too much of a difference in it. Then there's the Harmony and Harmony Boa ladies' price point boot on page 50 and 51. That thing is cheap. The big thing that I've noticed with Deeluxe is they tend to just you can't trust their speedlay system.
No. I've had them. I've had a set. And I don't feel like it really ever stayed tight.
No, it just opens on its own.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. They also have a weird profile. Those are some bulky ass boots.
Extreme. And granted, I didn't ride them for very long because they didn't fit me great and I didn't trust the lacing system. But they strike me as the type of boots that are going to last somebody like 150 days. Like they're just, they feel extremely overbuilt.
Like bulky, though.
Yeah.
Bulky.
Like
they remind me of like old Northwave boots.
Yeah.
From back in the early 2000s.
Yep.
Or, you know, just any of that shit. Or like when Ride first started making snowboard boots in the late 90s, like those. That's what they remind me of.
Or Old Solomon.
No, because Old Solomon were always narrower. Like I had literally Solomons from the first year they made boots for snowboarding. Those were still some.
I just remember turning screws before they started doing new profiles, like 7, 8 years ago. And at demos, and people come up and you'd be like, well, you know, what size boot do you wear to grab a set of bindings? And then you'd look down and look at them seeing a Solomon, and they go 10. You go, cool, so a 12, because they were huge.
Well, it depended. If it was like the Malamute,
boot.
Yeah, if it was like the Malamute or Dialogue, yeah, they were wide as shit. But
Yeah.
if you're like Symbio, Synapse, any of those tended to be to run a little narrower. So that's kind of I don't know. Deluxe is such a weird brand to me.
It is strange.
They're so European.
Yeah,
they're so European. Then, do you want to dive into Endeavor? More black on black graphics.
Yep.
The Clout got an overhaul though with a new shape inspired by Rusty Ockenden of the Man Boys.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that on page 18 and 19. It's I've got one here. It almost looks like the Agent Alec. You know, it's one of those shapes.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. Then there's a new board, the Alpha. Basically, go fast, make turns. It's on page 20 and 21. This that catalog, the Endeavor catalog, I don't believe is actually up on Suzupo, so
I don't have it.
I'll steal photos from the one that they sent me.